Hello, I'm Linda Seith from The Layered Onion. Thank you for joining us. We will be listening to our amazing creators talk about their art and mental health. 48 million artists all over the world share this lived experience. The Layered Onion was formed to create a supportive community, allowing the creators to focus on their art, bringing their work from the shadows to receive the recognition and opportunities they deserve. Each podcast will feature an artist who talks about their work and mental wellness. Art is healing. We hope these discussions will inspire you to appreciate the stories behind the creations and, more importantly, inspire your inner creator. Together, we can tackle the stigma around mental health.
Could we just walk?
Hi everyone. So my Chinese name is Hao. So Lingxue is my first name and Hao is my last name. And I always go with Luna. I originally come from China, and I got my MFA from Savannah College of Art and Design, which is like from Savannah, Georgia. Now I'm in Glendale, California.
So I have to ask you this.
Yeah.
What drew you from Georgia
Mm-hmm.
over to California?
Oh. So one thing is at that time, like there's a two location for me to consider. One is New York, one is Los Angeles. New York is like the first choice, but I'm always like really afraid and getting really nervous. And at that time, my boyfriend was like, why not we just come to LA? I was like, okay, perfect. Then I was in LA.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
kind of the overwhelming nature of New York.
Yeah. So it's like I know that is like so good for fine arts, like so good for artist choice. There's like so many chance. There's so many exhibitions, shows, galleries. It's just like afraid me a lot.
So yeah, well, it's a lot of concrete.
Yeah, that is like a lot, and it's like so many things happen in one time and so cross. I was like, I will give LA another shot then.
Well, that's great. And Glendale is a suburb of LA, correct?
Yeah. So it's not like a central, it's not downtown LA. So it's like, I would say half an hour drive due to LA's horrible traffic, but it's not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe you could say again, and I hate to do this to you, but maybe you could say a little bit about your photography.
So it's like why I began to shoot.
Yes.
Okay. So the thing for me is like I never have like one click like I love photography, so I'm gonna do it, or like this is like my choice from my childhood. No, it's not the situation. It starts when I was applied to college, and I have like difficulty to find the college to apply. So my parents sent me to learn how to draw in art school. But at that time, it's drawing, painting, and a little bit design elements. But there's like one photographer teacher there, and continue to tell me like I should try photography. I should give it a chance. So at that time, I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a chance. Then when I applied to college, I actually got an offer from photo department. So I was like, I'm going to go with that. So that is how it started. And after 9 years, I'm still doing it. But I wouldn't say that is only like suit or that's is the offer cost me to go to photo major. I would say that around 5 years, photo is become my choice because I'm falling in love with it. I want to do it in rest of my life.
So, what do you think inspired that teacher to really talk to you about pursuing photography?
I think I sort of think that is a half and half thing, because there's a chance there when he say that, and I'm not really into drawing at that time. So he said that I was like, okay, so I'm not really like to draw. I would try this one for sure. I think it's just like water flowing. This is like kind of nature choice. This is not like, oh, he tell me that I'm thinking about that. I love this idea. No, it's not.
Ah, okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first issue of the Shallot
Mm-hmm.
was the topic was reflections of self, and
Mm-hmm.
your title piece was self portrait
Mm-hmm.
one. So clearly, you have other pieces because if you've numbered it, I assume there's other pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But can you describe where you took the photo for this piece and the process of how you? There's just so much depth. Can you kind of talk about what you were thinking when you were taking this photo?
So for this photo actually from my series called Moon Phase. So the full name is Moon Phase, the moments between wax and wing. And that is a series record my whole process of fighting with major depressive disorder. And for this one, so this is a specific a landscape one, but I name it as a self portrait. The first reason is like I hate to doing I hate to do self portrait, and I hate my big face on the photos. So I was thinking that I'm going to find something to reflect myself, still showing the people like my situation, and but without my face strictly on it.
Well, and I was obviously caught with the depth of the
Mm-hmm.
piece and how you could really sort of see in, but yet have the green, the grass, um, and it's so fractured looking.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could talk a little bit. I mean, my perception is it's really instead of the outside, it's the
Mm-hmm.
inside of of you, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the self portrait. Maybe you could talk about was there something about how the green was sitting
Mm-hmm.
that really captured your thoughts?
So here's the thing is like I don't want my whole series just to record the process, like how sad I am, how dark I am, and how difficult I am. I want a series to have like the hopes there. So that's why that's you can say the whole image is not like completely dark. This that will be like 70% dark, but there's like still 30% hope, which is like the white part there, and there is like green grass grow from the dark water, which is I think is a perfect reflection of I'm fighting with the dark in my head. So I'm still thinking there's a hope growing grow from that dark, and I'm gonna to continue to hold that hope there.
So you talked about how this was part of a series
Mm-hmm.
and you called it the moon phase
Yeah.
series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in other cultures, the moon plays a greater role than it does here.
Yeah.
Um, and so maybe you could talk about how that was really inspired this series, this moon phase.
So I name it as Moonface. As the first place, I always think that my I always hope my project can relate it with moon in somewhere. And then I find out like because you can say my whole situation changes in the whole project. And there's a part of me think is go somehow go into a circle, just like moon going into the circle, like over and over again. And also I think there's a lot of like up and down going in my project. So that's also I think is related. And my name is Luna, so I want the whole project become like more personal and more intimate, so it must relate it with myself. That is kind of like the reason I name it as Moonface and how it works in this name.
Well, that makes sense. So, moon phase, Luna, phases of the moon. So, when you think about, and I heard you say it sort of went through the different phases that you were going through, and you were talking about major depressive disorder. Was there throughout that it was over a long period of time, or was this project, shorter in scope?
So that is actually a 3-year project. So I would definitely say a really long time project, and it's separated in 3 different chapters. So it's like the first chapter is my original point, and the second chapter is like going through the process, like how I'm changing, and the third chapter is like how I find the balance of the major depressive disorder and my life is kind of ended up as like I'm still have that, but I already can manage it and have my life like going on smoothly.
So, how does the first portrait evolve compared to the last? Because this one was the first one, correct?
Yeah,
That
that
you
is
had in
like
the shallot. So, if you reflect on the final piece, maybe you can tell those listening how it changed. What does the final piece look like?
One thing is so funny is because in the third chapter almost stopped taking any like real self-portrait or anything I call it self-portrait. So actually it's become less and less. And that is a part that I don't want to do it anymore because I don't think it's like so only me again. It's more about like my life, and more is about how it changes, and how like the situation right now more about like what I saw from my eye and rather than only myself. So I would say the change is like I do that less and less. I don't think that is like necessary to let the viewer only see me or only say like that's what I'm thinking. I almost become like more and more care about to showing the viewers what I saw from my eyes. That is like major change, I would say.
So, what you're saying is rather than a real focus on the internal and trying to heal, that you were now able to look beyond there and see other opportunities or other things in the world that were maybe healing as well.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying, and thank you for translating in such beautiful language. Because yeah, I think I need to remind the listener one thing is like my language, my first language is not English. That's why I'm so cranky.
Oh, I think you're doing a great job. So no worries for sure. So, well, then, the Layered Onion is a community of artists with mental and emotional health challenges. And all of this that work with the Layered Onion are lived experience artists. So maybe you can say, what is it about the community that, intrigued you or made you interested in being a part of it?
Because this is like my thing. I'm an artist related with this part, so this is kind of become like I wouldn't say that's my home because that is not technically true, but in my mind, this is like the safety line that I can relate it with. I know there's a group of people like they won't ask me what this is for and why you taking that because all the people doing the same thing. So I feel safe to like let people see my work from there.
That is, I think, bar anything, one of the number
Mm-hmm.
one things we hear is about feeling safe in this community and not having to be something that more than
Mm-hmm.
the expectations are sort of in line with where you're at.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead if you want to add.
I mean, another thing is like I this may not related with major with the mental health, but another thing is like because in this community there's tons of different art media from different artists. It's not only like photo because that is like most of the time I'm doing in my life. There's another media so and it's related the field that I'm in so it's more variety for me.
Yeah, there really is a ton of variety. Everything from poetry to um, in a collage
Yeah.
to sculpture. It's and visual art of it's quite interesting. I've been learning a lot for sure.
Yeah, me too. I'm learning a lot too.
Yes. So now I'm going to go back to a favorite question,
Okay.
and and for a lot of us, we have
Mm-hmm.
a go-to comfort book or movie or some place where when we're feeling a little off, it's it's comfortable to go back to something we've read or we've
Mm-hmm.
seen because it feels familiar. Do you have that particular book or movie that speaks to you like a friend?
Oh, it's always Harry Potter, and my name actually come from Harry Potter. So I grabbed my Chinese name. I grabbed my English name from Luna Lovegood, and I always think that. And I started to read this book when I was 7, and now it's become like, if I hate the real world, I think it sucks from real world. I go back to magic world. That's the thing for me.
And isn't there something beautiful about this, a magical world where I don't know. And I love Luna because Luna just accepts herself for where she is.
Yeah, so it's like everyone thinks she's weird, everyone thinks she's unusual, but she just thinks she's perfectly fine and like she keep doing what she doing. So I just love her so much, and I pick up my name when I was 12, so it tells a lot too.
And it's a great name. And obviously, the tie back to lunar and makes it even a more special name
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
So, the other thing I just wanted to ask as you
Mhm.
look at the future of your photography, are there things that you're thinking you're going to explore, or do you just kind of let the spirit move you to what your next project might be?
I mean, for one specific thing is like, although I would say the moon phase definitely end, I think it's as a perfect situation, but I may do another chapter related with like after the all the treatment I got after I got the balance with this disease, but like how my real life looks like after it's all finished because the movie is actually a positive way that I would say, but the real world is never like always positive and the part of me forever changed because of major depressive disorder. So I want to do another I would want to do another like I wouldn't say chapter, I will do another short time project to like let myself think it is officially finished. But I think I always have an idea, like I would do a project or a few projects more related with like experimental photography. So it's all related with materials and like sign type or like Lumi print, this kind of thing. But the other parts, I always know I'm gonna to do photography in rest of my life. I just want to let it happen itself. I don't want to like plan it and think about that, push it.
So you kind of letting the spirit move you.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I don't afraid of that. I think it's like that is the right thing for me to do. I'm not that kind of person can plan it and let that.
So maybe one of the things, there's now evidence how
Mm-hmm.
art can be very healing. So
Mm-hmm.
how has your art with photography helped you in your mental wellness?
I think one thing is like taking photos from yourself and taking photos about yourself can somehow like separate the thinking, separate the thing from your brain to give you another chance to like review your life in the third place. So there's the more become like the taking photos and the photos can give you like a piece of like safety place for you to like review your life. For me, it's more become like it gave me a chance to see how it's going with my life. And after like seeing those photos, I know that I need to adjust my life. Another thing is like I think it's give me more motivate for me to get more, for me to more participate in work, in life, and to allow to avoid the situation like stay at home and stay in bed mind all day.
So it what I think I hear you saying is
Mm-hmm.
one, by taking the photos and then looking at them, you're
Yeah,
able to reflect on
yeah,
what you were thinking at the time because it's
mm-hmm.
sort of captured in the photo,
Yeah,
but it also encouraged you to participate in the world because you went out to do the photography. So you
yeah,
didn't, just kind of stay in where it felt,
yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm. So,
okay.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like more two parts. One is mental part, one is physical part. Yeah.
Right, right. So, what words of wisdom would you want to share with other artists that face similar mental health challenges?
Mm, I would say just trust yourself. If you do not trust yourself, trust your art.
And it's easy not to, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think one thing I'm always facing is like I don't think I'm doing the right thing, but actually I'm doing the right thing if I have a chance to say it like in the future. But like in such moments when I creative something, I always like question it and I always afraid it's not right in some way. But I would just want other people when they facing this kind of situation trust themselves because they are doing the right thing. They just don't know. I recall myself too.
You know, and I think that's really insightful because what is the right thing?
Yeah. Also, what is the right thing? What is beautiful? Why other people say it's not beautiful? Then you believe it. That is another part.
Right. And I think so often um, we become encumbered by the expectations or the what ifs or all of those. Um, they're external.
Yeah.
And I think what I hear you saying is trust your art and trust the internal wisdom you gain from that art.
Yeah.
So, well, Luna, it
Mhm.
was absolutely lovely to talk to you today
Thank you.
and really appreciate it. And this has been just such a great joy for me to actually have the opportunity to talk to the artists about their art and then share that with our audience.
Thank you so much for the chance to let me speak, and thank you so much for
Thank you.
make my language sounds more perfectly.
No, you speak from the heart, and that speaks volumes to everyone.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. It is an honor to talk with these amazing artists. You can see and read the artist's work in The Shallot, our journal of mental health, art, and literature, or on our website, thelayeredonion.com. Thank you.
A little